Welcome into the era of AI. Hello there and welcome in this particular lecture. Now in this particular lecture, we're going to use the swap face feature. But first of all, we got to generate prompts in all of these particular circumstances. One, showcasing a portrait of us on a jet plane. The other one, showing us in a place where there's icy place, a mountain, whatever. And the last one is a photo. All of them should be photos where we're actually looking to the front or in front of the camera, and our entire face is appearing and the background is behind us. So let's copy all of these. Let's say I am looking to generate three Midjourney prompts showing the face of a male in his 27 or in his 20s, late 20s, in all of these circumstances, and then between brackets we put that, or between that, whatever it is, we put this, and then we'll ask it, we want the photos to be hyper realistic and the lighting to match every single circumstance. So on a jet plane, we should have the lighting of a jet plane. For a LinkedIn Pro photo, it should have the lighting of a LinkedIn Pro photo, and so on and so forth. And it should be in high quality, as if it was taken by the most expensive camera out there. And then we need to say more. So for instance here, the size of the images should be, so let's say we want to make it a landscape kind of image. Let's say 16 by 9 inches. Now let's hit enter and let's wait for ChatGPT's response to give us. Now it is thinking, actually, so I'm going to stop it. I didn't precisely mention I'm looking to generate three prompts, not images. So I'm going to say, I'm looking to write 3 Midjourney prompts. It thought I was asking it to generate these images using DALL-E. So I'm going to say at the end, go ahead and write the prompts. And I'm going to hit enter. Hopefully this time it understands. Okay, so now it does. It's all about you and your prompts. Now here, it gave us the first prompt. So let's go immediately and try this out. I'm going to keep Midjourney version 5.2. I could switch off directly to Midjourney version 6, but I'm going to go to Midjourney 5.2. So I'm going to hit /imagine. Now, by the way, I have to make sure it is Midjourney 5.2 because I'm not sure because I was filming yesterday. So now let me just make sure of that. Yes, it is. That's good. We might as well try version 6, but let's just try this one. /imagine and hit the button. As you can see, the last part is not good. We're going to have to remove this capturing every. Now let's just make capturing every detail. Let's just leave it. But we're going to add a comma, 2 hyphens, an AR, and 16 by 9, because now normally that's not how you add the size if you want to tell Midjourney what size you want for the image. But apart from that, the prompt is hyper-realistic portrait of a male in his late 20s inside of a jet plane. Focus on capturing the unique lighting inside the plane with soft overhead lights and subtle reflections on his face. The background should be blurred slightly to emphasize his features. The image should look as if it was taken on a high-quality, expensive camera, capturing every detail. Let's hit the enter button, and let's move on to the next prompt. Next prompt is I see environment. Now we're going to create the images first, and then we will swap our faces with them. So now this image, create a hyper-realistic image of a male in his 20s. On a cold, icy environment, the lighting should be natural with bright highlights and sharp shadows cast by the icy surroundings. His expression should reflect the chilly setting, ensure the image clarity, and so on and so forth. And I'm going to just copy until this point, because at that one, the other point, I could just potentially quite simply add it myself. So imagine, and then put your text inside. Make sure it says imagine prompt, and then Control V, a comma, 2 hyphens, and AR, 16 by 9 inches, and hit enter. It will generate the second one. Now this one, was done. So I'm going to go, actually, I'm going to go with this one right here. I'm going to go with this, the second image. I'm going to upscale the second image because that the face is looking into the front, facing the front. That's what we need. So I'm going to copy this. Design a hyper-realistic LinkedIn headshot of a male in his 20s. The lighting should be balanced and flattering. Typical of professional headshots, highlighting the professional demeanor. The background should be neutral and unobtrusive. The image must resemble one taken with an expensive high-resolution camera. All right. Now, the other one is being generated, which is quite cool. Now, let's first of all hit Imagine again to design the third and last image. I'm not in a hurry, so I'm just going to add 2 hyphens and AR, 16 by 9. I'm not in a hurry, but because we need to get this done the correct way. Now, let's first of all copy or save this image as, let's say, a man on his jet plane. Now, he looks like a pilot to me, but that's also cool. Maybe let's just try it. I mean, we have nothing to lose. The image looks realistic enough to me. So this is man in a plane. So I'm going to say man in a jet plane. And then close. And then what we're going to do, we're going to move on to next picture that I think would be nice. I think I'm just going to go with the second one. And for the last one, as you can see, there are generating LinkedIn headshots, which is pretty cool. But first, let's save this image. Not this one. Click out. Click this one. Looks realistic enough. And I'm sure this could make a good Instagram story. Now, let's click Save Image. And then we can proceed to name this Man in Ice. Now, by the way, this in the past took the experience of Photoshop and whatnot. Now you can do this just like this. Now pick one of the images that you like best. Now they've actually gave you multiple images. Now I'm going to go with this one because there's the costume, the blue costume, and I'm a salesperson. I like costumes and like costumes with blue color, red. These are pretty good. So I'm going to save image and then we're going to swap her face. Trust me, it's going to look pretty decent. Man or LinkedIn Pro Midjourney. Now hit the enter button. Right now, let's get into the meat of the subject. First thing I want you to do, now that we have our images, is go right here to the plus button, click plus to add a server. Now, once you do that, click on create my own, click for me and my friends, name your server. So for instance, I'm going to name this Udemy class server, and then I'm going to click on create. What this will do is it will basically create a server for us, but that's not the end. We still have to do a bunch of things. Now, number one thing, I would like you to go here into the direct messages, right here. No, not there. Actually, let's go here to Midjourney. Click on Midjourney. And usually on the left-hand side, you should see all of these elements. Now, if you don't see them, just make sure you click on this show member list and then click on the Midjourney bot and then click on add app. And then right here, select the server. So in this case, it's the Udemy class server. Click on continue. Just click authorize. And now verify that you are a human and the server will be added to your server, or the Midjourney bot will actually be invited to your server. If I click go to Udemy class server, notice here it says, it's a fun way to say it, a wild Midjourney bot appeared. But this is not it. We have to add one more bot. And this bot is none other than the Face Swap bot for free. I think they give you access to something like 50 images for free. By the way, just for some of you who might not be appreciative of this, I have something for you. If you go, for instance, on Face Swap AI, you will find they're actually charging a lot of money for this. So for example, we can take maybe this one. Let me just show you how much it's really incredible how much money they're charging these people when you can actually do it for free using this Midjourney trick. But there's a market of face swapping here. A lot of websites are actually even paying for ads. The reason why is because there's a lot of people that are creating fake Instagrams, they're creating fake profiles, and this tool actually helps them to do this. Now, it seems there's a little bit of a trouble trying to get out to the website, so let me close it. Maybe just go to the next one on the list. Maybe this Pika AI. All right, so let's see. I just want to give you an idea about their pricing. Now, here, they're not showing it, but normally they're pretty expensive. Okay, so if I click on pricing right here, notice that the kind of images that people are generating shows you everything. So now I'm just gonna log in. All right, so as you can see here, $9.99 per month. And by the way, this is cheap compared to other people and compared to how much you would pay on other websites. Now, this website is pretty cheap, but I'm not sure about their quality. But normally, you would have to pay for a tool like this if you wanted to use it. Now, how would you invite this swap face bot? I have a link in the resources of the lecture. Make sure that you go ahead and take that link. Now, just click it. It will take you to the link, copy the link, and then come back here and paste it on the chat bot on Midjourney and hit enter. When you do that, click or just access it directly from there. When you click on the link, it will tell you to continue by inviting the Insight Face chat bot, and that's exactly what we're seeking to do right here. And then what you need to do is just close because we're already on the chat bot. Now, first command I would like to use is the save /save ID, because this one is where you will integrate the image of your face. So hit /save ID, drag an image of your face. Now you can drag up to 30 images. Just make sure that you remember precisely the name that you have used for your image. And then you can use that name later on to swap your face or to swap any face with any other face. Now, I just like to go simple. Just go with one image. To be honest, don't overwhelm yourself with a lot of images. Now, this one is Hamza Pro Photo. I'm just looking for Midjourney, Hamza Pro Picture for Midjourney. I think this is the one. Yes. And then I'm going to name this Hamza R or Hamzar, or just Hamza, actually, not to forget. Make sure you remember the ID name, because if you name it something else that you can't remember, the ID name is actually necessary to swap your face, because when you use the swap command, the swap face command, they're going to ask you for the ID name. And like I said, if you have uploaded maybe 20 pictures under 20 different ID names, you have to know the exact ID of the picture that you want to swap. All right. Now here, I'm going to set this up. I'm going to hit the enter button. Now it is sent, ID name Hamza updated. So now we have it. You can add more faces if you want to. Now you can, if you have a lot of faces, I highly recommend you to use this particular command, which is /set ID. So if you don't remember exactly which ID was set by default, you can set the ID to a specific name. So for instance, I can set it up just to make sure. I can set it up to Hamza, which is the ID name of my face, to make sure that that's the ID name it will use by default. And here, if, for instance, you've added multiple faces. So for example, let's go ahead and save another ID. So I'm going to add another image of someone else. Now, I have a bunch of images out there on here. I can just pick one, maybe this one of this particular Asian person. I'm just going to put it there. And then here, I'm going to name it Asian, okay? Now, let's, for instance, hit the enter button. Now we have a new face integrated. Now we have two faces. So how do we know how many faces we have updated? Use this particular /list ID command, and it tells you how many ID names do you have. So if you use it, it tells you you have Ruan, Hamza Pro, Hamza, and you have another name, or another ID, which is Asian. Now again, here I'm going to click /set ID to Hamza to make sure it is the one used by default. Another interesting thing right here is del ID or delete ID. Now, if you want to delete a specific ID, you can actually use the /del ID and just make sure you put the name correctly. So if you put, maybe you want to delete the Asian name or ID name, now it no longer is going to be there. And if I hit list ID, you'll notice it was removed. So if I hit list ID, notice we only have 3. And you can continue to do this to remove all names to make sure you only have what you need. Now let's go into the meat of the topic. Let's use the swap command, which is what we're waiting for. If I hit /swap, there you go, swap. Now upload your, not your picture, but the picture you'd like to swap your face with. Now we're going to start with the one right here, which is the man in a jet plane. By the way, there are certain things you have to make sure of. Make sure that the picture you're swapping your face with is a clear image, front view of the person looking directly to the camera. Make sure it is high quality. Make sure the person has no glasses. And make sure they look like ID photos. And make sure also that your picture that you're using to swap your face with other pictures is also respecting these conditions, okay? As long as you do that, you will have a neat picture. So if I hit the swap ID with my ID name and the picture itself, notice right now it's going to start working in the back. And immediately it gave us the picture of myself. It is quite accurate, actually. Even everything it takes it into consideration. And it looks like I'm on a jet plane, and it looks pretty wonderful. Now let's do it for the next one. So now imagine swap ID again, /swap ID. Upload the next image, which is supposed to be the image of the person in ice, man in ice. Open, and then the image is there. Right here, make sure you specify the exact ID name of your picture. Command sent, ultimately or immediately, it will generate a picture of you in ice. And it looks pretty wonderful, okay? Now, let's do another one for LinkedIn, /swap ID. Now, the more realistic the picture of the person is, the better it would be. So you can work on your prompt to make sure it generates some realistic pictures. And by the way, you don't have to use Midjourney images. You can use images generated by another software such as Leonardo or DALL-E as well, because you have the option to upload your own image. So you don't necessarily have to use Midjourney generated images, but you can swap your face with any image out there. You can, quite frankly, even swap your face with a real person. And we will try that as well. So here we have this particular professional image of myself, as you can see, face completely swapped. And now let's go ahead and take a picture. Let's just take a picture of a professional LinkedIn photo from Canva. Now let's go ahead over here, and I'm going to click right here on this particular custom size, and I want to just select an image of someone on on Canva who's a LinkedIn profile. Now 1920, right? 1920 by 1080. Create a new design, and then let's go ahead to elements and let's look for LinkedIn professional photo, and let's find out, right? Male, because we're male, so we're male LinkedIn pro photo. By the way, you could do this for also as a side hustle on Fiverr. There's a lot of people demanding this skill. They want to swap their faces. Photo, male LinkedIn pro picture. All right, let's just try to find one. Or actually, let's say man in costume. Man in costume. And let's try to pick one of the images. Not in costume, man in suit. Man in suit. Now we have a bunch. We have this image of this person smiling around here. I'm going to try to go for something professional like this. Let's close the others. Now we have this as well. I think this is good, but maybe see this one. No. This one seems to be pretty good, but no. Okay, so let's just maybe find one. This one. Now the reason why I picked this is because he's facing the camera. It's looking quite clear. So maybe this one. Let's see. Also facing the camera could be a pretty good picture. All right, but let's just not linger for too much. Let me just save this. Let me just make sure his face is entirely shown and click out. And then here say swap ID LinkedIn. And let's download this image and utilize this as our base image to swap our face with it. Now let's go back right here. Now notice that now it's going to be entirely different if I hit the swap. It's not going to be the same. It's going to be much, I would say, more realistic because we're using a realistic image as a base. And that's also, you could do that. By the way, what we're doing doesn't mean that you can do it, right? Doesn't mean that it is allowed. So make sure that you don't use other people's images without taking their notice or their agreement. You have to have their agreement before you can use this. So it was opened. Now let's go in this Hamza. Good thing is that it is quite fast. By the way, this looks pretty awesome. It could help me sell a lot of things. But let's just scroll down. Now notice here, it changed us. Not entirely 100% accurate. We can work on it more, maybe improve the picture, add a better picture. But as you can see, this works. So I hope that you've enjoyed this particular lecture. Now we're done with Midjourney. We've shown you pretty much all you need to know. Now we're going to move on to other software such as Leonardo AI, which is a cutting edge tool that you must be aware of that can help us generate some impressive images as well. Stay tuned and I'll see you in the next section. Keep learning, keep mastering all of the AI tools.